until 1 a.m. Until they were like, yeah, they didn't even tell me why I was being deprived of my sleep. So here we are. Woohoo. No, I'm not under a bridge. If I was under the bridge, you would hear the traffic. Luckily, I'm good with money and was able to get a room somewheres. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had no place to go except to sleep under a bridge, no blanket, and just a hoodie. Don't we just love it? Yeah, no blanket, no tent, no hoodie. So, yeah. They are miserable. Yeah, they blamed me and said it's my fault. I'm too mental to stay there. But yet they had a woman hollering to herself, talking about how they put glue in her cookie. If you know what I mean by cookie, because, I can't say the P word. But yeah, she shouted it to security and said they put glue in her cookie. And proceeds to sit there or lay there, holler and scream and talk to herself. But I'm the one that's too mental to have a place to stay. That's discrimination. First of all, you're discriminating against someone off the basis of their mental health and telling them you're depriving them of a place when I said I had to go. Telling her, they lied to my mom, mind you, and they told her we would never put her out there with no place to go. And she kept telling me, and I said, you are being misled. Now she knows. Yeah, they were gonna dump me under a bridge with no place to go. Because the police showed up. Because social media called them. And basically that's my fault. And I'm too mental. Which is crazy. Because I'm not a threat to anyone. That is crazy. And now I have to get an evaluation and wait 30 days and have no place to go, but probably under a bridge with a tent, if I can even afford one, because I gotta pay my storage and I have to request a refund because, yeah, I made a reservation. I couldn't, because a lot of places, if you make a reservation, you can't check in till a certain time. So I have to get a refund back from that. And I had to pay extra money just to be able to check in. Or else I was not going to have anywhere to go. And so, yeah.
Entyvio is the only gut-focused treatment for moderate to severe Crohn's and UC. Gut-focused Entyvio works right where you need it.
So, yeah.
With a legacy of more than 10 years.
You know what's funny is they're mad because I won't mention something. And they know exactly what I won't mention. And you can stay mad about that all you want. I'm not going to talk about you because you're not important enough to talk about what happened to you. So you could be mad all you want about me not talking about what you know I won't talk about. And I know you're mad I won't talk about it. And I'm not going to talk about it because I don't care.
Ask your doctor if Entyvio, including the Entyvio pen, is right for you.
I know because someone told me that they're mad that I won't mention that. And I'm not going to mention it. It's not all about you now, is it? Okay, well, I will talk about it. They're mad because they're not the center of attention and that they're not the main character. That's why they're mad.
VCRs are extinct
That's it. That's all. They're mad because I won't mention them, like, if they're in my brain 24/7, which it was 247. It was just 247. That's funny. I'm losing it. I'm not losing it. I literally was deprived of my fucking sleep because someone decided to call the police, and they said I'm too mental to have a place to stay when you've got women hollering all night, staying up, sleeping in their beds, talking to themselves, mind you, all goddamn night, and literally being freaking crazy. But I'm mental, and I just walked in and had to sit there and listen to this lady holler and yell at nobody and say that they put glue in her PUSSY, because what? Who in their right mind says somebody shoved glue up there? But I'm the mental one, when all I was doing was just going in to get some sleep. Crazy, right?
Corey doesn't love her, he just needs an alibi.
Because they want to shove me in the psychiatric ward and drug me up and shove me with medication for no reason, because they want a reason to say that I'm mental when I don't belong with people like that. Wow.
Don't do it again and break his alibi. I'll take a run at Cora. Good day to boyfriend.
Oh, what a wonderful day it is, right? Hold on.
Well, we could go somewhere else to talk. No, call me.
But you know what's funny?
There's something that you need to know. Mike said that
This so-called person that does not know how to manage money was able to pull off a feat of paying for a room because you thought you did something you didn't do, and I still had money to get a place.
another detective took photos.
You can laugh all you want in the comment section.
There's a coffee shop around the corner. How did you and Mike meet? I lost boyfriend before.
You didn't do anything, so
Went to the ER. Mike took care of me. When did you two start dating? Last week.
try again. It's not working.
I couldn't believe it.
I'm still not gonna mention it. No matter what you try to do, I'm not gonna mention it.
Ask you to, do things in the bedroom that you don't want to do.
It's not all about you.
There's
It's
nothing
not.
I can do for Mike. I love him. He loves me. Then why does he date other women? I'm not as smart as Mike.
You're not gonna be the center of attention. You're not the main character. You're mad that I won't mention it.
Sometimes people believe
Which I don't even think it really did happen. Maybe it did. But you know what's funny? The new thing they did is restricted because they are posting stuff they're not supposed to. Nobody is going to be able to see nothing because you're restricted.
clingy, insecure. You kept seeing her, you had to like something.
That's so funny.
Just a good cook. Spotless.
It's not going to get recommended because it's restricted.
Common interests. You take really good care.
Yeah, it is restricted because someone told me, and I went there and it wouldn't even let me see it because it says it's restricted. It says that the content that is being posted in there does not align with the guidelines of of the place they're posting it. So because it does not align with the guidelines, they've restricted it themselves until they're approved. And once they're approved, then they'll be able to share it out to people. Otherwise, the only way you could see it is if you get the app, which I'm not getting an app. I don't have an account. I'm not making an account. I told someone else I'm not doing that. But yeah, it's restricted, but it forces you to get the app. And then you have to, so they're restricted and they're going to get taken down again.
Look, I know Mike's a good man.
So, since they want to be mad that I didn't mention it, there's your 5 seconds. How do you get taken down before the GoFundMe? Funny. You advocate so much to take down a GoFundMe that you got taken down.
To search the apartment.
Bye-bye. It'll happen again. And I didn't have to do nothing. I didn't do literally nothing. You think that you live in my head rent-free? You haven't been living in my head rent-free. I could care less. I really could. People were sending me stuff. That's it. That's all.
Smart cat. Why is he out baby? He's got money, good looks, a woman waiting on him when he gets home.
Attacking women's his way of venting anger.
What the hell are you doing here? Arresting you again.
Olivia Benson. Oh, look who it is. Mr. Ice himself. The D-list celebrity, Dean Cain.
Cell phone number's in the back. You call me if you need anything.
Mr. Join Ice.
I'm so sorry.
Don't bet on that. Found his goodie bag. Take Sam baby found it.
They had to play this episode.
I love you, okay? Remember that. You explain everything.
What is the basis of your motion?
Oh, it's been a while.
Consent to a search since it isn't her apartment. No precedent's clear. A living girlfriend or roommate can consent to a search of the common areas, and that's where we found it.
Yeah, someone told me,
This is the least.
and I didn't mention it, and then they got mad that I didn't mention it, because I think, here's my thing, right? I don't think that really happened. I think they tried to take it, it didn't get taken down. What I think is they deactivated it so that way they could get me to say it, so that way they could say I spread misinformation. That's what I think. I'm not a dummy. I'm not a dummy. They wanted me to say that it got taken down so that way I could sit here and say that, and then they could say I'm spreading misinformation, and then they could try to sue me. When if you sue me and take me to court, you're just literally going to show the judge that you documented harassing me. You know that because you do have to share what's in there, right? So you would have been dumb enough to show the judge that you're harassing me. What kind of idiots try to pull something like that and then turn around and screw themselves over? Is that not stupid? They thought that I was going to mention it because they were hoping maybe I would spread misinformation. And then they could say, look, she's spreading misinformation because, like I told them, I'm going to say stuff and they don't know if it's true or not. And if they run around spreading it, they won't know if it's misinformation. So they're trying to do a Uno reverse, and it didn't work because I was not going to take the bait.
Why? Tomorrow she's my first witness in the grand jury.
So they was mad I didn't mention it because that was their intent, was to get me to mention it. So that way they could say I'm spreading misinformation and then try to take me to court only for them to show the judge that they're documenting harassing me. I should have done it. I should have let their stupid ASSs go to court so the judge could see that they're harassing me. The judge wouldn't have sided with them. They would have made themselves look stupid. I don't even have to speak. All I have to do is stay quiet and just let them talk themselves into being stupid. It's like when the cops say you have the right to remain silent. Well, I'm going to use my right to remain silent in court. Because the more you talk, the more you make yourself look stupid. There isn't anything they can say that is going to explain why they're harassing someone with an account like that. They can't tell the judge nothing. Oh, whether they're going to say a black person is racist? Yeah, good luck with that one. What are you going to tell the judge? Oh, okay. Crazy, right? This is insane. I deserve justice. I really do. This is exhausting. I'm tired. Like, I literally got deprived of sleep. Which I'm now going to be deprived even more of sleep because I don't have nowhere to go. All because someone wanted to call the cops and now I'm being punished. Oh, but trust me. Trust and believe. That is defamation. That's a big ass lawsuit. You know what happens with big ass lawsuits? You get big bucks. Trust me. I'm just going to figure out where I'm going to go. I'm not going back there. And they got a lawsuit on their hands. So thank you. You just helped me get all the money I needed to buy my house. Because they cannot deny someone because they're too mental. And they need an evaluation to stay there. Nowhere did it say I needed an evaluation to stay at a shelter. That is crazy work. Thank you. I may not get my money from GoFundMe, but I'll get my money from that lawsuit. And I have a lawyer that's going to work with me because I know someone who could tell me what lawyer to call that works pro bono, which means he doesn't get paid unless I win. And that is a defamation lawsuit. You cannot deny someone a place to sleep because they're too mental. When I'm not even talking to myself and I was peaceful. The only thing I told them was I didn't have anywhere to go. But I had no choice because I'm on a suspension. So I can't be on their property. Thank you. God works in mysterious ways. You just help put money in my pockets. Lots of money. Not just 500,000. Millions. Millions. Munions. Because you wanted to be stupid and thought, oh, well, we could get her kicked out. Yeah, that's discrimination. And if you don't think so, it is. Because they cannot deny someone a place to sleep because they're too mental. The only way they can deny someone a place to sleep is if they do not follow the rules, which I followed every single rule. The only issue is they try to say I filmed on property when it happened. I was not on property when I did that. And literally, you could see the place that I was at because there was a photo where I was at. I was on Central. So for you to try to lie and say that I was filming on property at that time and I needed an evaluation, you have a big lawsuit. That's defamation.
So your diagnosis is alcohol poisoning?
Yes, but that's not her only problem. I found scarring on her knuckles, damage to her tooth enamel.
She's blind.
Oh. Well, when I get this lawyer, you gon' know. Thank you for helping me. Yeah, someone who was a victim of a violent crime being tossed under a bridge with no place to go because I get back and they tell me that I have to sit there in a chair being deprived of sleep only to luckily have money to get a place, because if not, I would have been under a bridge. You know, my money management skills is off the charts because I do know how to manage money. I'm not stupid. But, you know, anyways, like, you just helped me with more lawsuits against them. It's defamation times 2.
Program. Will you go?
Because there's the same company that runs the other place that I do have a defamation lawsuit. So
Cora.
I am going to be reporting them. I am going to advise my mom to sue them too. Because how do you treat a disabled person like that? Allowing residents to scream at her when she's hard of hearing and then tell her that she's going to get a no compliance for being behind the desk because she can't hear and she's hard of hearing. So you scream at someone with a disability that literally told you they were hard of hearing and didn't hear all the residents screaming at them because my mom lost complete hearing in her ear, one of her ears, because she was shot in the face.
She's going to be a witness in the grand jury tomorrow.
Okay. And then, not to mention, you told this old lady that was sitting next to me that she needed to go sleep in a chair, which that's why I think that they did this, is because I'm speaking out and they don't like it, is the fact that they told this old lady she did get into an argument earlier, which was way earlier, but then way after, they tried to tell her to get up because she was disrupting people's sleep, to go sleep in a chair with a blanket. You tell an elderly woman who is literally trying to go to bed or go to sleep, you call security on her because she's not complying with you because she said she was not disrupting the peace, which she was not, which happened a lot earlier, and deprived her of sleep because you wanted to punish her, so you put her in a chair with a blanket and literally tell her to go sleep in a chair, and she says she can't sleep in a chair because of her health problems. That's the type of shelter you run, where you got rats running around everywhere. I cleaned my bag and got more mouse poop in my shit. Not only that, they stole my snacks. My sodas are gone that I literally bought. I can barely afford sodas, and you steal my shit. Who drank my shit? And I know I know who it was. It wasn't a resident. It was the workers who took my shit. This is the stuff that I can't even. You had a lady come in twice, get caught twice with a bottle of alcohol, hollering to herself loud. And I mean screaming loud every time she drank, and they allowed her to come back and sleep. And she talked to herself. You got women that stay up all night talking to themselves. You got one woman who is in my dorm that stares at you. She'll stand there and stare at you. But I'm the one that's mental. And she doesn't even stare at me. She stares at other people. She's literally watching people's spaces so she can steal stuff. And then she stares at them and she's up all night, all day, all night. I believe she hasn't slept in a week. But I'm the one that's mental.
You won't even send my husband to prison. I want you to tell the truth.
I didn't disrupt anything, and they didn't say I disrupted. They said that I need an evaluation and that I'm suspended for 30 days because someone else called the cops. But they told this lady that was next to me that she was disrupting the peace because of an argument she got into way earlier, which way after. I don't understand why they handled it late. They basically told her that she was disrupting people's sleep, so they told her she needed to go sleep in the chair. She said, no, I'm gonna go to bed. I can't sleep in the chair. And she told them why, and they still was blocking her and trying to prevent her from from laying down. And when she went to lay down, that's when she called security. Security came and said, don't disrupt the peace anymore, and let her go to sleep. But they were going to shove her in a chair and force her to sleep there. But yet they got residents screaming at my mom, which is so crazy because she's hard of hearing. She lost hearing in one ear. And you got these residents screaming at her. And you treat disabled people horribly. There is a lady that literally asked for 911 tonight while I was there. The same shuttle that dropped me off was dropping her off at the hospital just now after she asked for assistance like 3 hours ago for an ambulance because she could barely lift her arm and she was having issues with her health problems, right? And she asked for assistance. This is what's crazy. And what I just found out is that their phone does not dial out to 911. So you mean to tell me that if something happens to someone, you cannot dial your phone out to 911? Do you know how unsafe that is to have a shelter where you have a shelter and not be able to contact 911 if need be for emergency assistance for someone? And this lady asked for assistance, and then you tell her, well, you can get an ambulance or you could get the shuttle. So she's thinking, oh, I'm gonna get the shuttle because it's gonna be here on time.
I'm on my way.
And she's barely getting to the hospital at like 2:00 in the morning after she asked for assistance. And that's crazy.
Send a bus over to court.
Not to mention the mice crap in my stuff. I cleared out my bag and dumped that out only for shit to be back in my bag. Because I said what I said about that lady. That's why I'm being deprived sleep. Oh yeah, and then to tell my poor mother, who is under the assumption that I'm getting a place, to tell her that I was getting a place and you weren't going to dump me under the bridge. I had to notify her that no, they don't have a place. They was going to dump me under the bridge because I knew if I didn't let her know, she could have probably had a heart attack and died. She has high blood pressure. And I had to let her know right away before I left. That way, if I left and I told her when I left, she would have been so worried she would have had a heart attack and died. All because you didn't want to tell her the truth? Like, why are you lying to people? Crazy, right? Well, I had to tell her before I left because if I told her after I left, she would have had a heart attack. She has high blood pressure. So I had to tell her while she was there in comfort so that way she can see me face to face and I can tell her so she's not as worried, so she's prepared. That's why I told her. If I would have waited to tell her after I left, which I already knew, I knew they was lying to her. I told her, Mom, there is no place. The guy said, well, everyone had to go everywhere and he doesn't take people everywhere. So he said, we're not supposed to take people all these different spots. We're supposed to take y'all to like one spot. And he said, we're supposed to dump you under the bridge. Oh, that's great. Dump me under a bridge with no tent, no blanket. I'm like, my mom was like, take your blanket. I'm like, no, because then I have to carry it everywhere. And if I have to go into a restaurant, I can't carry that into a restaurant because then they're going to kick me out. Wonderful. I'm begging. Where did I beg for anything? I have not even asked for money.
Disability Help Today connects Social Security disability applicants just like you with representatives.
I'm being deprived of my sleep. I don't know. I got this sharp pain. I was freaking out. I was shaking. I was like, I got nowhere to go. I'm the one that's mental. But I'm literally just sitting there calm, covered up in a blanket, because I'm shaking with nowhere to go, just eating snacks, waiting to be told that I'm on a 30-day suspension because someone else called the cops and I'm too mental to stay at a shelter. Because I attempted to harm myself because I'm supposed to be normal, even though I watched my brother die right in front of me.
My joints feel better, my knees
Wow.
my back feels better.
Isn't America lovely?
Whisper quiet to use while you work.
My circulation is moving, I'm burning calories, and it makes me feel energetic.
God bless America.
The seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation. Call and get upgraded to the deluxe bundle. Get the faster motor.
Whose fault is that? Not my fault.
The step counter.
I was out all day,
Remote.
busy, doing important things. I didn't call the cops on myself. They said somebody called the cops. And because the cops showed up, that's what happened. Why are you blaming me for someone else using police to harass me and then say I tried to harm myself? And so they said I'm too mental to say, you know what? I'm not even going to explain it to you. It's a lawsuit. That's defamation. You cannot deny someone a place to sleep because of their mental health.
That's only a brainstem reflex.
And they wonder why people's mental health is so jacked up.
Hands or respond to pain.
And then they wanted to put me in an unsafe situation under a bridge after I just went through a carjacking
Cora's sister
where people do drugs,
doubled the impact of the alcohol. Okay, well,
where there's a whole encampment full of tents so someone could drive by and just easily shoot at everyone because some reporter wanted to say that homeless people should be eradicated.
is there anything you can do?
And someone went to a homeless encampment and shot it up. So now I'm supposed to be sleeping with a hood, with no tent, on the dirt, on the pavement. Luckily, God forbid, I'm great at money management because I paid for this room. God forbid. I could have been under a bridge and got shot up. Wow. Well, people think this is just some funny joke. Yeah, I'm going to be laughing all the way to the bank when I sue them for defamation. You cannot deny someone a place because of their mental health. I am not a danger to anyone. They didn't say I was a danger to anyone. But you got people that yeah. You literally have this guy in a wheelchair who was saying that he was gonna knock this lady again in her head. But I'm the one that's deprived sleep and a place to stay. But you let this guy in a wheelchair, who you say continuously does it, every single day argues, yells, was screaming at everyone on the bus to get off the bus and hurry up, that we're too slow, and then proceeds to tell a lady, a man in a wheelchair, tells this lady he's gonna knock her in the head again. Oh yeah, he can threaten assault on a woman, but that's not mental, that's not insane, that's not crazy. And then the security told him to be quiet and says, be quiet, you always do this. So he always threatens to knock women in the head and assault them, and you let him come back? Yeah, that's a good one.
She'll never recover. I can't let her suffer.
I will never understand.
The law is clear. I don't have a choice, Casey. What about Cora's mother?
And I get a 30-day suspension and almost get thrown under a bridge because you want to say, I have proof that I was not filming on property.
So a rapist has more rights than a mother.
In this case, yes.
There's literally, where do they have a brick wall like that? It's on Central and Girard, where the Taco Bell is.
Cora's never getting better. She deserves to die.
There is no such thing like that at the shelter.
She has been her mother for 30 years. I think that more than a
I literally have proof.
It's not up to us to decide when white.
It's okay. I'm not even gonna say anything anymore. I'm a lawyer up.
Who's next?
They have a big lawsuit on their hands, a gigantic lawsuit. You cannot deny someone a place to sleep because of their mental health. Nowhere did it say I needed an evaluation to get to stay there.
And I would feel a lot.
That's not what I was told.
Okay. Who would know that better than her own mom?
And they wonder why people's mental is so messed up.
Well, did she ever tell you what she'd want if something like this happened?
No, we had to talk about it.
Olivia Benson.
And she's not a quitter.
Well, I am going to win because I got a pro bono lawyer. I know someone who could give me a lawyer, and I will win because it is discrimination. It's discrimination. That's like saying you can't sleep at the shelter because you're in a wheelchair.
He said, Cora.
You can't deny someone a place to sleep because of their mental health. I could see if it was putting people in danger.
But how do I stop?
What is what I did to myself have anything to do with the people around me? They never said I was putting people in danger. They said because I'm too mental.
She won't listen to me.
What? That makes no sense. How is someone too mental to stay anywhere?
What the hell were you thinking?
Cora's mom went to the papers. How's that my fault?
But you got a woman talking about they stuffed glue up my cookie. And I'm the one who's mental while she's proceeded to sit there the whole time waiting for this shuttle to take her, to drop her off under the bridge or wherever she wanted to get dropped off, hollering the whole time, talking about her mom, shoving the food in the window, talking about it looks like effing worms, saying that they're serving people worms, literally hollering at nobody about why they tore her bag, and then proceed to say, give me my effing this and that, to say monkeys this and that, literally have foam coming out her mouth. She had no teeth because she lost all her teeth, foaming at the mouth, literally hollering and screaming at herself while I'm calmly sitting there, literally crying, looking at the back of my phone that where my brother is, wondering why. It's literally mentally exhausting. Like, I'm trying the best that I can. And this lady is sitting here calling people monkeys. You got another guy talking about one of the workers poked him in the eye, calling him the N-word with the hard ER, which they did kick him off property. But he called the guy the N-word with the hard ER, saying that basically he wasn't even black. And he called him that because he said the guy had no rights to touch him, whether he was drunk or high, and basically poked him in the eye. And he wanted a DNA swab on his eye to prove the guy's DNA was on his eye, because he said, how would his DNA get on my eye if I touched him? And he was saying, check the cameras. I didn't touch him. He touched me. Basically called him the N-word with the hard ER because he got poked in the eye, right? Going on this whole rant. And that's what prompted them to say that their phone does not dial out to 911. Because he said, call the ambulance. I want my eye checked out. And they told him, this phone does not dial out to 911.
The court has granted Mrs. Kennison an emergency.
That is very concerning, that you're running a shelter where you can't dial out 911. You got one guy standing there out of his freaking mind, sticking his hand in the back of his pants, scratching his ass, out of his mind, zoned out for and then started scratching his crotch, not even washing his hands. And then say, what are you doing? And he said, oh, I'm going to bed. When he's going to stay up and probably talk to himself. but I'm the mental one. And you've got women walking around in the same clothes, dirt. I couldn't even get into my pajamas and change my clothes. Right as soon as I got in to be searched, I was immediately hit with go sit over there. And I sat there all this time being deprived of sleep. That is so crazy. I'm the mental one, but you got this lady scratching her ass, not even washing her hands, walking around, standing there staring at people, stood in front of my bed space, staring at me. And I'm just like, oh. And I can't say anything, because then I get blamed all the time. And I was on a tightrope because they were already saying I was filming. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to say nothing. And some lady in the wheelchair said I'm going to knock her upside her head if she takes my stuff, because she's throwing garbage on that lady's bed, refusing to sleep in her bed because she wants her old bed, and not sleeping for weeks. She's been awake. She never sleeps. She stands there and stares at people. But I'm the one that's mental. I had to pay for a room because I almost got dumped under a bridge. She's standing there staring at me. And they don't think I know that they have informants that are literally in my dorm that they planted there to watch me, and don't think I don't notice. How are you gonna have informants who can't even spy properly? Just staring at me I'm on my phone, miss. I'm not filming. And you can go back to your bunk and go to sleep. Sitting in a chair near other people's bunks that's not yours. Go to your bunk and go to bed. I'm on my phone trying to see what I'm doing all the time. I was just literally sitting outside telling my mom, I don't even go live on property because, I'm not allowed to. But I said, she's been coming out here and smoking every single second. No one smokes that dang much. And if you do, then you have a problem. She probably went through like 20 cigarettes in an hour. Talking about kept coming out to smoke. No one smokes that dang much. And then trying to have a conversation with me sitting next to me. And then when I move away from people, you still find a way to sit next to me. Like, I moved away from people for a reason. Trying to strike a conversation with me and I don't even know you. I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to get my housing and get the fuck out. Because clearly it is a very bad place. You got people that have been there for 6 months. You got people that have been there for 4 years and you haven't even got them housing. I do not want to make friends with those people. I do not want to converse with those people. I do not want my mentality jacked up because these people start talking to themselves, getting in their head. Then you got other people that are normal that end up acting mental and crazy like these people because it gets to them. That's what they want. They want you to be stuck with people with mental health issues so you could be jacked up just like them, so they can have a reason to shove you in a psych ward and tell you, let's stick these needles, let's stick this medication in you, drug you up so we don't have to deal with you because we made you mental so we can stick you there and have a reason to put you in a psych ward when you didn't need to in the first place and you're perfectly fine. But let's mess you up by sticking you with a bunch of people that are mental, right? Which my dad has mental health issues, so I can 100% understand. My issue being is they do nothing for these people except let them sit up all night for weeks on end with no sleep, hollering to themselves or talking to themselves loud with no sleep day in and day out. That girl has not slept in a week.
I am lifting the injunction.
She has not showered in months.
They remove court
She's refusing to go to sleep because they will not give her her old bed, standing there staring at people, being all creepy. I have slept. I go there and I go right to sleep. I get in my pajamas and I go to sleep. I sleep. Today I was deprived of sleep because someone wanted to call the cops.
Thank you for letting Virginia hold her daughter's hand. I know how much
This girl has not slept in weeks. I sleep. I get up and she's awake all night.
Life insurance company's gonna need that.
I toss and turn all night because I have pain in my leg. I try to get the good sleep that I can. But this lady is standing in the corner, standing near people's beds, hoovering over their beds, plotting to steal whatever it is she's gonna steal. Because that's what it seems like. Because this lady said if she steals my stuff, I'm gonna knock her upside the head. Which I don't agree with violence. They're not even supposed to be threatening people. I mean, I understand where she's coming from. In a sense of like, if someone steals something you work hard for, of course you would be angry. But I don't think threatening people is a good idea, because isn't that against the rules? But you could hear this lady screaming, and you got the workers sitting there not saying anything, and she's screaming she's gonna knock the girl upside her head if she takes her stuff. And this girl threw something on her bed, and this girl just stands there and stares at people all the time, and stood in front of my bed to stare at me. I don't even know who she was.
she said she'd never want.
And then you got some guy acting crazy, so this lady did not feel safe while she was in line being searched. So she said, I'm gonna get in front of you, and threw my mom in harm's way, by the way, to cut in front of her to get away from the guy. Like, if you know the guy is acting weird, then why are you putting another lady in harm's way to protect yourself? I understand that you need to protect yourself, but you should have notified security, who was like a few feet from you, and been like, hey, this guy is acting weird, instead of throwing someone else in harm's way just to cut in front of them and say, well, I'm going to get in front of you because he's dangerous. Because he's... Yeah, that's crazy. And I couldn't do anything because we're in line. If we get out of line, then we have to get to the end of the line. And I had to watch my mom and make sure she's safe, because you want to cut in front of us instead of notifying security, which was probably the logical thing to do if you felt unsafe. For me, it was just looked like he was talking to himself. Whatever the case may be, I just tend to ignore those people. I didn't feel unsafe. But if she felt it was not safe, then she should have reported it to security instead of throwing my mom in harm's way. Literally said, can I get in front of you guys because to get away from him? No, can you get security and tell them, hey, this guy is making me feel unsafe? What kind of throw my mom in harm's way? And I know my mom wasn't in harm's way, or I would have had her move. I would never leave her to get hurt. The guy was just talking to himself, being a little weird, yes, but you just ignore those people. Don't engage, don't interact, don't cause them to have more of a manic episode. Okay, sometimes in a situation, not talking doesn't work either, but it's better to de-escalate a situation than to make it worse. But if you felt this guy was making you uncomfortable, you should have notified security instead of cutting in front of us and then throwing my mom in harm's way if you believe that man was unsafe. That is wild. That is wild. Hold on, guys. That is crazy.
Some sort of silencer. It was quilting material used to make quilts for baby blankets. Had masking tape on one end and some black powder on it. It was shaped in the form of a...
Man, I don't know if it's a weed pipe. It looks like a CRACK pipe. Because it's a pipe with... It's like a ball and then it's like a long pipe. They have been confiscating those. They confiscated like 10 of them today. One girl, She got in line and bam, clink. She dropped it on the floor and they're like, yeah, you gotta come back for a search. Give me that. And they confiscated it. You could hear the clink. And they were like, do you have anything else? And she was like, no. She almost got away with the pipe. The fentanyl is crazy.
But the time of death was between 4 and 6 a.m. Police canvassed the area.
But I don't know if it's CRACK or weed.
4:30 in the morning.
I don't really care because I don't do drugs. So I don't know. I wouldn't know. All I know is it looks like a pipe, a C pipe. But also, they don't allow you to smoke weed there because it's considered a bad drug to them, even though it's illegal. So you're not allowed to have weed there.
Investigators also found shoe impressions in the dirt. Casts were made for later analysis. It was a partial print of the shoe.
So yeah, I gotta get. Oh, it's 3:33. I better get off and get some sleep because I gotta get up early. Have a good day or night where you guys are. Stay safe. Thank you for liking, commenting, gifting, watching. I gotta go. Fuck, I'm tired. I need to get some sleep. I'm gonna change this or probably watch out, I don't know. But have a good night. I'll see you guys later. I'm a horrible liar. You know what some lady told me? She said, I used to be an activist. They need to get media and film and show people what it's really like in here. I was like, they do. Man, if I literally filmed what happens in there, especially, you know, that lady staring at me, like, but it's a HIPAA violation because some people signed off to not being filmed. That's why they don't allow filming there. Filming of other people, filming around people. That's why I left property to film. Anyways, because of that, man, I wish they let me film what happens in there because the stuff that would go viral and people would be like, man, that's such a horrible place. Like, it is bad. Anyways, have a good day or night where you guys are. I'm gonna get some sleep. Yeah, but have a good day or night. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Thank you for liking, commenting, gifting, and watching. I can't stay awake anymore. I gotta get some sleep. Bye, guys. I gotta get some sleep.